Another week, another settlement. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society just quietly closed another child sex abuse lawsuit in New York. And this time involving an elder accused of abusing multiple children, including his own daughters. And the case, well, it's KG versus Speonk Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. And this is an ugly one. And they didn't just fight it, they paid it. Okay, so we would like to first of all thank Watchtower for getting this news out to us. And just to get into the receipts of this article, I'll make a link to this in the descriptions. And this is is an important article because you can from here pull in all the PDFs. So it shows the case, KG versus Speonk Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. It's a Child Victims Act. And you can look at the summons, the complaint. I have the complaint pulled up. We'll take a quick look at it. And I also pulled up, you go all the way to the bottom. This is 4 years worth of litigation. You go all the way to the bottom, and they just paid it out, settled it. Watchtower's not going to court. Because it involved the governing body, if you look at the document. And so they're taking the governing body. It looks like right there, if you're taking the governing body to court and you have reason to do so, you're going to get a payout. That's what it's looking like. This is the third payout this week. I just 2 days ago delivered that video on Hines and Briggs, and there's also another one there. Both were paid out. So we really don't know what happened. It's all hush hush once it's paid out. It's everyone signs a non-disclosure agreement. They can't talk about it. And Watchtower, no one knows anything. Did it go to trial? Well, no, nothing. It's paid out. And that's how Watchtower is doing it. So if you can sue the governing body of Jehovah's Witnesses, if you have a complaint, it seems like you'll get a payout quicker, probably. They won't fight it all the way up the court levels. So you can go all the way down. There's 18 pages of stuff. You go about halfway down here, and you get the background and the facts of the sexual abuse. Everything's in these court documents, folks. It's not fake news. This is what happened. And Watchtower turned a blind eye to it all while this elder did all these very, very bad things to children. I can't even say it on the internet. That's why I can only really link you to it, the sexual abuse that was done. And this guy just must have just kept pleading innocent. But anyways, he impregnated one of his daughters, and he would go into a room where a bunch of the boys were. He'd fondle them. Anyways, I'm going to move over. They signed her all off. Watchtower, they weren't going to get involved. Let's just get this all cleaned up. That's what this is. Confirmation notice. And now it's done. So let's talk about this some more. Okay, well, let's take a close look at this. We're going to break this into a few sections. First of all, we're going to look at the case. It was filed under New York's Child Victims Act. The lawsuit accused the Watchtower and the governing body and the Christian congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses of protecting an elder named Arthur Arch, who allegedly abused children between 1969 and 1973. Now, one victim, identified only as KG, says Arch molested him at home and at a campground bathroom while traveling to a Jehovah's Witness convention. Even worse, Arch's own daughters went to the elders in the early 70s, telling them their father was abusing them and that he had even fathered a child with one of them. Nothing was done. Nothing was done. Imagine this actually going to court and newspaper style headlines start coming out. Elder abused his children and fathered his own grandchild. Elders did nothing. Imagine those headlines. You wonder why Watchtower had to pay this out. The complaint says the elders and the Watchtower knew Arch was dangerous, but left him in a position, exactly the kind of cover-up pattern that we've seen in dozens of cases nationwide. Okay, let's go to the next section. What just happened? You can get these mugs right on our store. If you click onto the store, there's a whole pile of mugs and shirts and hats. Now, section 2, what just happened? This week on October 27th, 2025, the plaintiff's attorney at Herman Law filed a stipulation of discontinuance. And we looked at that, folks. That's legal talk for the case was settled and withdrawn. So there's no judge's ruling, no trial, just a confidential agreement and silence. So the case is now marked discontinued under Judge Sabrina Cross in Kings County Supreme Court. And that's kind of the end of it. So when the Watchtower settles quietly, it's because they don't want discovery to go public. That's why this is settled. So let's look at why Watchtower is paying out. While the Watchtower has been fighting hundreds of these cases under the New York's CVA and now under the new ASA window, but lately something's changed. They're no longer dragging all of them to trial. Instead, they're settling. We've seen multiple cases close out just this month. And just part of my supposition is they're not getting away with theocratic warfare in court any longer since what happened to Brumley, their main lawyer. So why? Because every time one of these cases gets close to discovery, elders, letters, legal memos, and internal databases risk exposure. Documents showing that Watchtower has tracked known abusers since at least 1997. And they'd rather write a check than open those files. Now we're going to look at the pattern in case after case. The playbook's the same: concealment, reproof instead of reporting, and silence from the platform. No one knows about this in the congregations. These lawsuits show that elders were instructed to contact Watchtower Legal, not the police, whenever abuse was alleged. And we've showed that on this channel from the Elders book, how it shows that. They always contact legal. And that policy hasn't changed, folks. That policy didn't fail just children then and now, but it protects predators. Their policy protects predators. There's no way of knowing in a congregation that there's a pedophile of an elder, alleged pedophile. Alleged, you have to say, because Watchtower pays it out, doesn't go to court, so now it's all alleged. I think that should be illegal, but it's alleged. Now, that policy didn't just fail children, it protected predators. Why this matters? every time one of these cases settles, it validates survivors and it exposes the Watchtower's growing liability. These aren't isolated incidences. They're evidence of a systemic problem inside an organization that calls itself God's clean people. So when a religion pays out millions to hide abuse, maybe it's time to stop calling itself a spiritual paradise. Well, here's my closing message. To all you survivors watching this, your voice matters. Justice takes time, but truth has a way of breaking through the walls of silence. So live your life with love. Keep watching, keep moving, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Well, before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank our Coffee Club supporters. These are the folks who help keep fixing my faith going, and I'm scrolling through them right now. And if you see your name, thank you for standing with us. But here's the thing. The best way you can support us is absolutely free. Over almost 60% of our viewers are not subscribed. So if you've been watching and getting value out of these videos, hitting that subscribe button tells YouTube to share this with more people who need it. So subscribe, like, and share. And we also run a completely free community. It's called ExJWFriends.com. That's where you can find it on the website, ExJWFriends.com. And then on the website, once you go there, there's a link to the private Discord channel. And that's where people have a lot of fun. People share their stories, they get support, and they can connect without judgment. That's what happens there. There's also people that will help coach, life coaches, counselors. There's all kinds of support at ExJW Friends. And if you're waking up or just need to talk it out, that's where you want to go. So here's a link on screen in case you want to find it. And we also put a link in the descriptions of all of our videos. You can just go right down there and hit the link to the Discord community. So whether you are supporting through the Coffee Club or just clicking, liking, and subscribing, it all helps spread the message. And we want you to know that we appreciate you. Live your life with love, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.